Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Open the Gates, and I'm your host, Matt Burke. Today, we're going to be having on Justin Sweet. If you guys could give a warm welcome to Justin. Justin, what's up, brother? How you doing?
Hey, doing pretty good. Thanks for having me, for sure. Like this is great.
Oh, for sure, man.
Especially
I
that intro. That intro is just is definitely that's some solid, heart pounding stuff.
Oh, awesome.
Face
Thank you.
melting rock, as they say.
Right? I seen your book out there, man. Chrome Dog a minute ago, and I was just thinking, damn, that's a badass looking character. He looks like hella fun to draw.
Yeah, yeah. Luke Stone and I we came together, and I approached him. I was busy writing a script for another character, and I had this name in the back of my mind about this guy named Hey Pops. I had this guy, this name Chrome Dog, just kind of in the back of my mind as I was writing this other character's story and what he was going through. And what was funny was as I was developing his story, um, Chrome Dog kind of like showed up as a foil to him. So he was like an obstacle for this hero in a way, and he had all these like it was weird how the imagination just like adds things and like does stuff and so I was like, wow, I really like this guy, and so as I'm writing him, I'm thinking I want to write this guy. I'm gonna shelve that other character, and I think I'm gonna go with this. And so um, Luke and I came together, and it's jazz, man. We just jammed. I gave him my concept ideas a little bit, and then he kind of added his flourish, and then I just kind of let him do his thing, and so he'll draw while I'm kind of talking and this or that, and then he'll say, well, what do you think of this? And I'll say, well, that's great, but let's kind of tweak this, and then I say, well, what do you think looks cool? And then so he's like, well, what if we do this? And then boom, like Scratch the Chrome Dog was born.
Well, that's awesome, man. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm just getting to acquaint myself with you, and possibly new viewers out there that might be doing the same thing. Is there a little bit maybe you can talk about yourself a little bit? Tell us who you are, whatnot.
Sure. Okay. Well, first off, I try to go in the space I go by just in case Sweet, and that's
Right.
less to do about pretentiousness and more to do with separating myself from a certain artist that is, I guess at this point, world renowned for Song of Ice and Fire covers, named Justin Sweet. He's got a really cool website where he shows off all his art.
It happens.
So for now, I'm not much of an artist. I mean, I was back in high school, but I'm way
Ooh,
out of
nice.
practice, so I just haven't picked up the pen to really, I just don't have the time to mess around with it at the moment. But that doesn't mean that I won't be in the
Right.
future. But yeah, I just want to say that. But yeah, I'm an Army veteran. I joined the Army right out of high school back in '99,
Thank you.
and served during well, you're welcome. I served during 9/11, and during that time, I joined the Army to see the world, but I haven't left the South yet. So I live in Tennessee. I was pretty much I was I can't say I was born in Tennessee. I was actually born on an Air Force base in Idaho, but we moved here when I was about 11 months old, and then I grew up in Tennessee, and yeah. As soon as I joined the Army, I was in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, down in Fort Gordon, Georgia, and then yeah, and that was actually back when I was kind of getting back into comics. So I was into
Okay.
comics, before high school, and then maybe a little bit in high school. I kind of held on to them, but
Yeah.
that's when I discovered girls, and then
Right. Right.
also the
It's the
other
same
things
story,
that
bro.
that happened in high school.
Self
Yeah,
included.
really. Yeah,
Yep.
and so once I actually had my own money, then I kind of come back to comics, and I remember like fondly. It was around the time of 9/11. Garth Ennis and Steve Dillon were doing the Welcome Back Frank stuff, and
Oh
I
yeah.
was eating it up, man.
Hell yeah.
I've never had a pull list, but you better believe every month or every other week I was there at the comic shop making sure I was getting that next issue. And then once that run was done, I went ahead and was collecting all the stuff after that because Ennis was, I mean, he was really hitting his stride. and
Yeah.
I was there for it for sure. Especially with Steve Dillon on, on the, I think what he was on pencils. Jimmy Palmiotti was on inks. I mean,
Killing.
it was solid. Like all of it was just so great. But yeah, and I'm a Punisher fan for life.
Me too.
For sure. And I hate what they're
So
doing. I mean, that's the other
yeah,
thing too.
yeah,
Is
it's
like
horrible, dude.
the stuff that they're doing to these characters now, they're completely just deconstructing them and turning them into something that they're not. And what they're doing to my boy Frank these days is just it just turns my stomach. But that's okay. I'm in this world that I'm creating. I'm actually gonna have my own version of a type of Punisher.
A
Something
vigilante.
along the lines of Death Wish. Yeah, one that definitely is not afraid to kill people, but still has a certain
Is his code?
They have a line, a certain code that they don't want to
Well,
cross. But
I like Dexter.
outside of that, yeah. Well, I never actually watched the show, but I get the premise, and I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I'm sure it's great.
Worth the
Yeah, I'm sure. I'll check it out sometime.
New
I'm more of
season.
a Bosch fan. Like I like Bosch on Amazon. Like I'm Harry Bosch Detective. It's a detective drama.
I have to
Great
check that out.
show.
I like detectives. I just finished
Yeah.
Reacher. I like that one. That one was pretty good.
I need to watch that one, and I
That one's
definitely
good.
need to watch The Terminal List because that's one that I've been wanting. I've been just sitting on, and I need to watch that while I still have Amazon. And I also like lawyer stuff. So like, was it Goliath? That's a really cool show. But anyway, so after I got out of the military, I stayed down in Augusta, Georgia, hung around there for about 7 more years or whatever, and then eventually moved back up here to Tennessee. And oh boy, life has been crazy. I just now I started kind of coming back around to comics the last few years. And it's where I was, I guess, let's see, it was just before the pandemic. I guess I started getting into game mastering again after some time.
Nice.
Because I kind of left all that stuff behind, but now I'm
right.
the kids are getting older and this and that.
Yeah.
And so and so I started game mastering, and after I wrapped up a 1-year campaign, I'm looking at this at the players that played with me, and I'm looking at my campaign prep, and I'm realizing that it's like none of this is gonna go anywhere. Like no one cares about this stuff except for the players that were around my table and the few little moments that we had that we're probably all gonna we're gonna be joking about over the like the rest of our lives, but then
right.
it's just going to die with us. Right. And I know that sounds pretty sad and morbid, but as I thought about it, I'm like, I need to take this ream of inspiration that I have here, and I need to craft something that will endure. And so given the fact that Eric D. July, I've been following him since 2018.
You see that last show?
Been I don't think I know.
He does some fun when he debates people. It's just funny, bro. Like, he's so entertaining. He's hilarious. But yeah, sorry.
That's true. Well, no, I actually did listen to a little bit of that. Man, he was going a little too hard on him, and
he was going hard. He was going hard. I didn't watch the whole thing. It was like 3 hours.
Yeah,
he just kind of dipped in.
He kind of
watched some of the shit.
For me,
he was still fucking him up. I'm like, all right.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, well, let me go to something a little more positive. But anyway, but no, for a long time he he was highlighting all these negative things that were happening in the comics, and so I kind of was, and I could see it, and I was paying attention, and I thought, well, here I am. I have this, I'm a writer just by nature. I'm always wanting to create worlds, and like game mastering came natural to me, and all that. And so I thought, I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna craft my own world, and I'm gonna make heroes to live in it. And And when he brought up Ethan Van Sciver, I'm like, who is that? And so as soon as I found out, about Comicsgate, which was about it was about a year ago, I actually plugged in, and then the inspiration just kind of kept coming as far as the drive to want to do this, and so I sat down and I figured out on my own how to make a script, and then I just started writing, and then next thing you know, I just approached Luke Stone, and we do a couple of character concepts, and then I guess you could say the rest is history. There's probably a lot in between there, but yeah. So I'm happily married for, let's see, almost 12 years, and we've got 5 kids between us. All of them are grown except for one still in the nest. He's about to be 17, and so we got
Congrats,
a
man.
dog.
I got a
we got
couple
a,
of
we got an
Rugrats
11-year-old
too.
dog, and what thanks. But and then we've got grandkids, and so I'm a pappy myself. So and and it's funny, I joke about it. I don't know if that's lost me any cred in the space, but I don't really care because
Nah, dude. Hell no.
I actually look at it as a badge of honor to say I have grandchildren. My God.
Oh yeah,
So.
absolutely, dude. Absolutely. So Luke Stone, he's your artist on the book then, and a collaborator too, right?
Correct. Well, collaborator as far as the design, the overall look of what goes on in Chrome Dog. I mean, these layouts. I mean, this is all him.
Sweet.
And because I'm studying layouts, and believe me, like I collect comics not for the value, but for not for the monetary value, but for the value that I see in how did this artist do this, or how did this
Yeah,
artist
the draft.
how did they achieve that.
Exactly.
Like that's what I'm kind of key into. Like I want to pay attention to those details to see, okay, what do I like, what do I not like. And so Luke and I, I give him enough in the script. I give him enough room to kind of do pretty much what he wants to do. I kind of put rails on it, and I'm like, okay, this fight I want to start here, and then I want it to go to here, and then how we get there, you can kind of like
have
do
some fun
thing, and then I'll come back, and then I'll come back with some dialogue, try to do some snappy patter and whatnot to keep it entertaining, but not to give soliloquy sitting around the coffee shop like what I see in comics nowadays,
right?
Which is just utterly ridiculous. It's
and
like
then
if
Luke
I
has
wanted
fun
to watch
to
that
play.
kind of stuff,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Totally,
I mean,
bro.
if I wanted that, I'd watch a Tarantino movie.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Watching Honey Bunny and
it's
Fat
like,
Muffo in the diner in Norm's.
Yeah, exactly.
Norm's
I mean,
diner.
now it is entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, it is entertaining, but at the same time, it's like, come on, man. Like, let me read a comic book with superheroes that are actually, busting people's asses and actually taking names and dispatching some justice. Let's
Exactly,
have
dude.
some, let's have heroes be heroes again, daggone it. Not just another, oh, they're just a villain in waiting, or it's just no. And then the villains, oh, they're just a hero in disguise, and it's like, no.
We need some villains.
Good
like, I
is
agree.
good, bad is bad.
Exactly. Like for me, I'm having trouble, like personally, like trying to, like, I really feel that for me, I want to create villains that are vile, like they're villainous. You know what I mean? Like it's black and white. There isn't no like social redeeming value. There's no character arc. Obviously, you got to have you got to have a little bit of like, okay, this is why they went down this path and they got fucked up. But I want that evilness in there. And there needs to be it makes the heroes more heroic when they have an evil villain that they have to face off against, But
100%.
You were talking about Pulp Fiction. I'm sorry. What
saying? Well, I was just gonna say, just real quick, in The Crow, right?
Oh, love that movie.
Of course, more so in the movie than in the book. Top Dollar is so in the comic, but when it comes to the movie,
he's evil.
Of course, they don't actually name. Yeah, they don't even name him, but yeah, he's evil. But
pure evil
at the same time, but you can somehow like. There's a certain, I don't know, to me, there's a certain like humanity to him in a way that you can like identify. At least you kind of know a little bit of where he's coming from before,
especially at the end when he delivers the line.
That evil.
He's like, right before my daddy killed my mom. So you're like, all right, you witnessed his father murder his mother. Then like it only took that one sentence, you know what I mean? And then you got Wincott. I don't know. He's just one of my favorites from the '90s. Like just in general, he's a great actor. I was gonna say, man. I'm sorry.
Did you see Nope? Because he was in Nope. And
I know he was in Nope, but I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, he was great. Like, you gotta see that movie.
What's your favorite movie?
Anybody needs to watch that movie. My favorite movie.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Man, you put.
I know
me
I'm
on
a
the
fucker.
spot.
I do that to everybody when they come on because it's hard.
So okay. Huh?
If you can't pick one, then top three.
So okay, all right. So I would say number one would be Collateral.
Okay, I got that. They reference my town in
I
there too.
think I
Yeah.
really that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Collateral is definitely, if it's not number one, like it's up there. 310 to Yuma is another one, the new and the old one, in both in different ways. Like I love
Okay.
them both, but the old one is old black and white. It's got Hal Holbrook and John Glenn, I think. Anyway, Western, that kind of
Hell
thing.
yeah.
But the new one with Russell Crowe and Christian Bale,
I like that one too a lot.
Like,
I think Ben Foster kind of steals it from him in there a little bit. Like he's I mean, don't get me. I like Christian Bale's in my top.
Yeah.
But Ben Foster in there, bro. He kind of steals the show a bit. I think, personally.
Ben Foster, remind me, which character?
He's a villain in there. You know, he's the skinny little dude.
Charlie Prince.
I think so. Yeah.
Charlie Prince. Right. Yeah.
So good.
Well, the thing is that those movies are based on a short story by Elmore Leonard, the same writer who did Rum Punch, which eventually became Jackie Brown. I didn't know if you knew that.
I didn't know.
So Elmore Leonard, Elmore Leonard, he wrote a lot of westerns, but he's written a lot of other books too, obviously, to have Rum Punch be a thing. But yeah, that Rum Punch eventually became Jackie Brown, the screenplay and all that. So, and then it's kind of cheating in a way because it's also my favorite book, but No Country for Old Men. It's probably it's in the top of my film picks. For
it's a
sure.
good one.
I love that movie.
That's a good one. I remember seeing that one.
Definitely has to go. Yeah, honorable mention definitely has to go to Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, okay. I still haven't seen that one yet. I just hear nothing but good things about it. You know.
But I say before that one, I mean, The Crow has to be in the mix too because I love that.
It's
movie
so solid.
That
I mean, that movie and the book, and the book are so different. You know, but it's like yeah, you could remake it, but no, they shouldn't. But yeah, they could because there's a lot of stuff that they don't do just like artistically, and then there's a lot of stuff that they I don't know, man. Like, and some days you can catch me like most of the time I'm like, don't remake that movie, but every now and then I'm like, I don't know, man. Like I could see why someone could come at it and do it, but that movie's so like set the time, and it was the 90s, and the way that the stuff that they added in there, they kind of changed some things for the better in some ways, like just little artistic stuff, you know, and then the music and then the whole rock and roll side to it. And but yeah, I fucking love The Crow. I've seen that movie so many times. Yeah.
The first and then so like keeping in that vein, I guess my favorite superhero genre movie would be Iron Man, hands down. Like not even a question.
Yeah, that movie's solid.
That is my favorite. That is my favorite superhero movie. Like and close on its heels is Avengers.
Avengers is solid too. Like I think Avengers could go up there as like probably like best superhero movie ever made. It could go up there. Like, and you know what I mean? I mean, I think that's the best one where it was like the most Whedon-y, but then it like, but not, and everything kind of changed after that. But that movie was good. Like he brought it all together, and it was just what it needed to be, you know. And then Iron Man, I love the whole like building the iron suit. Like that's my favorite part. The first half of the movie. The last half is dope too, but that first phase of Marvel movies, man, that was when they really didn't have any money and they had to really work hard, and everything was darker at that point. And they didn't have all the Whedonisms, and everybody wasn't like a witty like 15-year-old, kind of in some ways. But I like.
I mean,
like,
that's Taika Waititi, man. He really did that. They
were
he wouldn't even 12-year-olds at that point.
He wouldn't even pass Whedon. Like he went even further. I haven't even seen the new movies yet, but I really like the Incredible Hulk. That one a lot, and I liked Thor a lot.
I liked Thor because I really like Kenneth Branagh. I like what he did in that, and it doesn't even bother me that they got Idris Elba to play Heimdall.
Nah,
I mean honestly, because I think he rocked it. That's fine.
Yeah, he did a good job.
But let's see, what was it? Goodness, you kind of threw a curve at me with the Thor reference.
Yeah, and then I went back and watched it again because my favorite parts of the Thor movies are the first 10 minutes. I haven't seen Ragnarok, but those first 10 minutes where they go into the 9 realms, fucking so good for Marvel style.
So Hulk, the original Hulk. Hey, y'all can hate me all you want, but I love Ang Lee's version. Like
me too.
Eric Bana as or Bana, however he says it.
Man,
I
it
really
takes
like
balls.
that movie.
Takes balls. A lot of people, everybody throws shade
it
at that
great.
movie. It's too long. It's too fucking. Shut up. That movie's dope.
No,
the camera angles, it's all fucking comic booky. The split screeny. Come on,
that's what we want. I mean,
you fucking loved it when it came out. They didn't have nothing like that when it came out. We had that and Blade,
and then you got Sam Elliott playing General Ross.
Perfect.
I mean, hello. I mean, yeah. And then you got was it
Nolte? Nick Nolte?
Yeah, well, Nolte, and then Jennifer
Garner
Connelly,
or
Jennifer Connelly playing. Connelly. Yeah, she was playing
solid
Betty Ross, and I mean hello. And then
like those
William, for them to cast William Hurt as General Ross is like,
I think that one in Incredible Hulk, like they're at a time when they made that movie, like where they felt like, oh, we do gotta please a little bit of those Ang Lee fans. So in some ways, it kind of feels like a low key, like soft sequel in some ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I do like them both, dude. Yeah, okay. But I'm a little bit of like a Hulk stan. He's one of my favorites. He was like one of my first favorite. My dad, like 3 years old, like Hulk son. Like I watched the Lou Ferrigno ones too. Like I like the video games, Engine 100%. Of Destruction, the fucking toys, all that shit. But
I always wanted to play. Yeah, I always wanted to play that one.
So good, bro.
Was it on PlayStation 2 or whatever? It
was so good. There was so many moves you could do with the Hulk, like the whole like ripping the car apart and using the fucking two axles as
shields,
as brass knuckles. Yeah. Like you could do that in the game, and that's what Louis Leterrier from Clash of the Titans remake. He directed it. That's what he did in that movie, in that fight with him and Abomination in Harlem. I didn't really like the Abomination design.
Nice.
I mean, but he still looked dope, But I was
speaking of that. Well, I'm just so Abomination, right? Mm-hmm. That's a little so this villain that I'm working with in Chrome Dog, Seether. He's on the Leprosy cover.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He doesn't show up in the ash can yet, right?
Right.
So the ash can is the first 10 pages of the 32. Hey, J $, what's up? Good to see you here. So he doesn't show up yet, but he does, later in the comic. But there is a little bit of, I'm sure people will notice there's a little bit of Abomination in it.
A little bit of Emil Blonsky in there.
just a touch. But yeah. Well,
shoot, speaking of Chrome Dog, man, I got your campaign pulled up in the tab. You want to maybe check out the campaign a little bit?
Sure, let's do it.
Sweet. Let me just share my screen real quick, brother. Yeah, I love the Hulk growing up, man. I remember like there was a dude that had a website that had all the iterations of the Hulk. Me and my little brother would go there. We were both in the Hulk, man. We had all the toys, and there's like 20 or something different versions of the Hulk, man. Like of just what Banner could change into, you know what I mean? That were canonical. So
yeah, canonic, yeah.
Yeah, he's really awesome.
Too much beer to say that one right.
I could even
there we go.
It's hard to say it sometimes. Here we go. Oh, we got a trailer right here. It's cool if I check out the trailer real quick.
Yeah. Go right ahead. I'm busy kind of reworking another one. Or a couple.
Epsilon City needs heroes, but will Scratch, the Chrome Dog, have what it takes to answer the call? Beck, Chrome Dog, starting February 3rd on Indiegogo.
That's cool, man. Ooh, that's those Leprosy Yanks right there, huh?
Yeah. I'm very fortunate that I approached him, and he said, he said he would do it. So I'm like, rock, let's do this.
Yeah, I love his art style, man. It's so good.
Oh yeah, me too. I mean, once I read Wraith of God, like I'm a Wraith of God fan for life.
Me too.
Like his character. which is kind of funny because my dad doesn't. My dad thinks that he's kind of a self-aggrandizing butthole, which I mean that's probably fair. But I'm sure he has his character arc. So like I'm expecting in this next in Blood Hunters for Wraith to kind of show a little more not such a-holery. That's a word.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh,
So
yeah. Well, I like that.
Does-
Well, it reminded me
yeah.
of Solomon
No, I know,
Kane.
but
It reminds me of Solomon Kane a lot too, in a way. That was why
yeah.
I did just read it. I did a review on it a little bit, but I didn't talk too much about that. But that was one of the reasons why I liked it. Was for the reason kind of your pops didn't like it. Because like I don't know, you ever read Solomon Kane, Robert E. Howard at all?
No, I've seen his character design, but no, I haven't.
He's just
actually,
hard, like
yeah.
good and evil. Like I must slay evil.
Yeah.
Like there's no. He just goes around the world like killing evil. Like he's because he's a Puritan and 100%. Like you can't go to a bar and chill with him, dude. He doesn't human very well. But that was one thing I thought that was kind of cool about him, you know. But one thing that interests me about what were you saying?
No, go right ahead.
Oh, one thing that's very intriguing. I'm sorry about this scene right here is like this helmet he's wearing of this like bear. Very intriguing. I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going on in the story. Like I don't, you know, I can't wait to read it. I know that's not his final form. Like something's going on, you know.
So of course, on this campaign, there's at least 2 links. I put it kind of before all the imagery, and then down at the bottom before we get into the perks, to where folks can click the PDF ashcan, so they can see these first 10 pages for themselves. But not to mention here, we're kind of looking at the pages and the different panels of what goes on in the first 5 pages of the book. So essentially, Scratch is he wakes up in this body. He's not from here. We're not sure exactly where he's from yet, right? But he's not from Epsilon City at all. He doesn't recognize anything, but he has this body, and he has these supposed powers because the city, the technology level in the city is so low powered. So there's like cell phones are no longer, like, they're not ubiquitous.
Nice.
I guess I need to say that the world that he lives on and where Epsilon City is located is called Ringgold, and it is in a completely different galaxy. Like, it is, if you look up at the sky and you see the Orion's belt, it's the leftmost star in Orion's belt that Ringgold goes around. And so one of the clues to this is in Luke Stone's cover. You'll see 2 moons, and also right there on the first page, you'll also see the sun is not yellow, and the
Silver?
sky is a bit of a different color. Yeah, it's kind of a very pale blue white color, and that's the type of star that Ringgold orbits. So, but the thing is, this world, the people that inhabit this world, they came about close to 2,000 years earlier from the world where we live. Right, there was a guy by the name of Charles T. Ringgold. He got together a group of folks that no longer wanted to live in this world because it sucked so bad, and so he kind of different cultural groups from around the world. He collects them all, gets them kind of under his secret society banner, this or that, and so they travel to this Stargate under the expressed not assumption, but requirement that once they get on the other side, because the world is fully like oxygen and everything else, like there's animals, like, so Ringgold is it is a lush with everything that Earth has on the surface, right? And so he convinces them all to kind of go with him, and so when they go through the Stargate, they destroy the Stargate on the other side. And so these cultural groups, they start over. They start all of civilization over there, and there's strict adherence to these sectors. So there's actual like sectioned places. So there's Epsilon, there's Sigma, there's Tau, there's all these different designations of land, and the different people groups inhabit those, and they have their own cultural centers, and they are free to stay as homogenous as they want, or they can be as heterogeneous as they like, and they can and this or that. And so you can say that after close to 2,000 years, when we get to Epsilon City, this city is one of the more cosmopolitan places. And so yeah, so Chrome Dog, he wakes up. We don't know where Chrome Dog's from. We don't know when he's from. Neither does he. And that's
interesting.
That's kind of part of the fun. Yeah,
very interesting.
Part of the fun because he doesn't know and we don't know. Now I say we because go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, from like a consumer or customer standpoint, I see Chrome Dog. I look at it right just from the cover. When I see it, I'm like, okay, there's this fucking cybernetic were dog that's gonna fuck these people up at a amusement park.
Yeah.
I'm all in just from that visual. But that's not what it is. And now I'm even more intrigued because you've got a whole universe set up. You know what I mean? Of different worlds and histories and a whole timeline set up. And there's a lot more than meets the eye to what But that's amazing, dude. And obviously he's working at the amusement park, right? As like a character.
Yes. This is his first, or I should say his day job, right? So when he wakes up, he's a workaholic. He's a workaholic, and he cannot sleep. Like he wants to sleep, but he has insomnia, and so during the day he works in this job as a mascot, Wally the Wolf. Which, by the way, the reason the wolf is kind of like this gold color is because there's an indigenous wolf called the golden prairie wolf from a nearby sector. That's still somewhat rural. And so when they created the character in the world this cartoon character, they kind of did this design for him. But yeah, so he wears this mascot suit and he hands out these trinkets to different patrons and whatnot. But he's also kind of sort of undercover, watching for trouble because crime has risen in Epsilon City. Now, here's where things are kind of skew. Chrome Dog, this is his day job, but at night, like he has no problem working for criminal organizations for doing bank heists, planning bank heists, helping them, hack, and he uses his skills to hack and find information as he can.
So he's like private security, huh? At night,
he kind of is, but
at the
same time,
yeah,
he does, and he'll also work as like staff for concerts. So he has no problem being security for that. So he just does odd jobs, but he'll work as a consultant for for like detectives at the local police bureau or whatnot, and he helps with the investigations and this and that. Which that's kind of one of the things too. And I haven't revealed this before to anyone, but he also, when he does his moonlighting with the different mafia and different gangs, as he's helping them plan and actually execute heists and whatnot, he's collecting names and also some of their information so that he can pass it along to the authorities so they know who to arrest. So like he's kind of in that way, because there's certain things that he'll pick up on that there's certain lines that he does not want crossed.
Right.
And as we find in this ash can, kidnapping is one of them. He does not, he's just like, no, this is not cool. And some of the things that have been going on in the city, he just hasn't, he's like, he just can't take it. So he's kind of deciding to step out and become a little more than just a workaholic. He's actually going to do some heroic stuff, and kind of catch into that. But the problem is, he has this virtual intelligence who's always in his ear, who she's just not the most friendly person. And she's very condescending, and she thinks that, and she's, what's the word? She's jealous in a sense, because he has all this autonomy over this body, and she probably wishes that she had the autonomy of this body. And so that's one of the things that as we go through his, not only this story arc, but maybe even later on in the later issues, which, by the way, I'm planning for a 3-issue story arc to where he can deal with some of the things that are going on here.
Right.
But yeah, eventually we'll kind of get the story not only behind him, but also behind her. And And then in this book, we actually get to see, we get introduced to a few villains. So he's going to have a rogues gallery of threats and things that he has to deal with.
That's awesome,
whether
dude.
they're criminals or detectives, or it's very much like, I like Luke Cage a lot, and I think, you know, and I want to do something that feels a little bit like Luke
street.
Cage. I want to keep that grounded street level.
Very street.
Definitely.
Yeah.
For him, for Chrome Dog, for sure.
Chrome Dog
now,
specifically.
I've got other ideas for other times and other titles later on. But yes, I'm building Ringgold into a universe, a world where we get to explore all kinds of the different cultural nuances and things between the sectors. So I'm really excited to make that happen. Yeah. So.
So as far as Chrome Dog, like, do you know exactly what he is? Do you know?
Oh yeah. Of
okay.
course I know.
Well,
when
that's
I
good.
say we, I'm kind of borrowing. I'm borrowing from Eisner. I've got it's somewhere around here. I've got one of his books.
Love Eisner,
and
man.
He's actually, he's got a bunch of different textbooks that he's written, where he kind of helps those of us creators beyond the grave now, in what we're doing. And he talks about how, in this medium, we're able to interplay with our reader and connect with them, and actually like do this dance with them in a way that you can't get in a novel.
Right.
And so it takes a certain, and so it's one of those things where, and I totally resonate with that. And it feels so natural to me to be in this medium, coming from tabletop role playing, because in that medium, you're flying by the seat of your pants, and it's you're dancing with your players as you're laying out the story, and they're making their decisions, and then you're counterpoint the whole game. There's this fun that we all have, and so me as a writer, I get to have that fun along with the along with my audience.
Yeah, it's like a give and take, and I don't know, man.
Exactly.
That's cool too, and they don't know what to expect, and the less you know about your character, it makes it more interesting, dude. No matter whether we like it or who doesn't like it, it's a fact. Right. The less you know about the character, like look at Wolverine, they sat on him for 30 years. So like for my character, I would have sat on it too, but don't reveal if you don't feel like you have to, because it makes it way more intriguing. Like I want to know what he is, but a part of me is like I don't want to know what Chrome Dog is, because it makes it more interesting. Right. You know what I mean? That makes me. Well, I'm guessing. Like, what is he? Is he a cybernetic alien dog? What is he? Is he a weird dog? Like, is he a human? Is that a costume? Is he a full robot? Is he a man under there? Is he an alien under there? Is he a transformer? Like, do you know what I mean? In some ways, it's cooler. Like, you don't know what he is, But I was wondering, man.
And so,
I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Well, I think issue number 4, right? So once I get through this 3-issue arc. Issue number 4, he'll actually get a chance to explore a little bit of that, because right now he's got to deal with some things that he's, he can't, like, as much as he wants to know the answers to those questions for himself, because believe me, no one else wants to know more than he does. Because if you can imagine, put yourself in his shoes, where you're, you wake up in this strange place. You have this body that doesn't resemble anything of what you may have had before. Like, he has amnesia, but he also has these urges and these desires to want to, stand up for the little guy, or actually he has a thing for, kids, and he wants to protect them. Like, he has this innate, like, drive to protect kids.
It's just him
from people that would do them harm. Yeah,
it's just him. He has no control over that. That's his personality, and he doesn't even know.
Yeah, that's his. He doesn't know why. He doesn't.
But
know
it's there.
Who it is, but he'll find out eventually. But right now, he's got a few obstacles to prevent him from making that happen.
That's freaking awesome, dude. So,
but yeah, I know all that stuff. I know where he's at, but he doesn't.
That's good. That makes it more fun. But then it's hard too, because it's like it's a lot of different emotions for you as the creator, and the fact that I want to tell this character's origin, but then I don't, and then when you do it, I don't know, it's weird, man. Like, if you can hold on to that as much as possible, it's hard. But it's fun too. Like, I ain't gonna lie too, I would like to know what he is, and he looks so dope, like badass, that like even if I did know what he was, Like that'd be dope.
Well, I'm a believer in the issue zero, and that the issue
Oh, yeah.
zero
Oh,
should
yeah.
be. I mean, in my opinion, again, I'm sure other creators have used it for other things, but I know was it Eric Larson used issue zero for Savage Dragon, at least, to show his origin, right?
Yeah, issue
And
zero
so for
is
me, I think at some point in the future, I'll probably do a zero just to show, where he comes from.
yeah, and like in the
And
LCS world too. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say in the LCS world too, like those zero issues
Yeah.
too, like it'll like back then it would help the sales too. Like it would boost the sales. Like it would be it's up there with number one. You know what I mean? So a lot of times
Well,
they would bring in. It has nothing to do with it's just more like a sales thing. You know what I mean? Which would be cool
Right.
back in the day, like for any type of comic book. You know what I mean? But I always fucking loved issue zeros. You know?
Well, part of that, from what I remember hearing Rob Liefeld say in his podcast, he said that they had these when Image did that. They had these little clip out coupons that you'd have to buy the different comics, collect the
Yeah.
different coupons,
Yeah.
and mail them in for to get one. So it drove those sales up too. So like it was a gimmick for sure.
100%.
But yeah, no, I'm with
But
you on that.
but it's like it's a gimmick, but it's like it's fucking so awesome, like
Yeah.
indescribably
Yeah.
awesome, like for the fan
Definitely.
and for you.
Yeah.
And it's just I mean, and there's just this whole like world of people that just love origin stories. Like my daughter, she's like, I love origin stories, Dad. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I mean they're pretty cool. And then I mean, a lot of people now don't want origin stories. And then a lot of stories never had origin stories. Like right here, this isn't an origin story. So it's weird, man. It's also on like a primal thing too, as humans, as hunters, which we are. We want closure. You know what I mean? We're always hunting. We always want to know the end of the story. It's part of the hunt, And so, whether it be a case that he's on, a job he's working, or if you're trying to figure out who he is, it's going to be an everlasting hunt, until you get that origin take. So
exactly, and and that's and when I sat down to write this book, I thought, I could go the origin route, but those get so tired, man. Especially in the movies.
In the now time,
make a movie
nowadays,
they always have to like go. They have to go back to the origin. It's like I don't want to start with the origin. I want to go in medias res. Like let's get let's just in the middle of the thing. I'll give just enough here at the beginning to get people to understand, to kind of like get into the moment, and let's just go with it. And then later on, I'll introduce little elements and sprinkle it in or whatnot. That way people can kind of get an idea. It's like, oh, okay.
It's almost better not to have the origin unless it serves the story and you're going to end the story. Like you're not going to make any more of them, but still put it off.
And
like that should be the 6th chapter. If you're doing 6 issues and that's all you're going to do, put it in the end. Make that the last one.
So yeah. And that's so early on when I was writing this, somebody had asked me about Chrome Dog, and kind of like, because they were so interested in this character.
He's interesting, dude.
Give me kind of like who he is, like what is he? How did he? What are the influences here? And so I say, okay, so you can say that he is a little bit of Deathlock, right? But also Sleepwalker. Like there's Deathlock and Sleepwalker somewhere in there, and a little bit of Colossus. I mean, just for the, but even then, it's just. But none
still,
of those really.
But still, it's not much.
Really
I mean, you're giving me something, but you're not giving me something. You know what I'm talking? Like,
exactly.
But it's enough though. Like that. That's pretty dope. I mean, I like. Yeah, that sounds very interesting.
And the funny, I think the best part, okay, and this is a little bit kind of reading between the lines, because I'm being subtle even in the ash can, right? I'm being subtle with some of how the interplay between Sally and which is his virtual intelligence, and Scratch, and she cannot read his mind. She has she's not able to there's no she has no access to his way of thinking.
She's got a massive personality too, huh?
She does, and
she does, right? She's jealous. She's a little jealous of him, right?
She's speaking to him. Oh yeah, of course. she's speaking to him, and then he like she can only hear what he says. So when
Right.
he actually is allowed to have his own thoughts. But here's the kicker: he doesn't know that she can't read his thoughts, and so it's kind of so it's kind of there's
it's a
to
weakness.
her it seems like it's the programming language is different.
Right.
But the other thing, right? And again, this is subtlety. The other thing is the body has its own operating system that's separate from Sally. So she's not even, she's not even in control of the body. So like so it has a voice, and you can see it in the lettering in the book.
Nice.
That the body itself kind of like has its own language that's even separate from her. And so but make no mistake, she's about what she's about, and Scratch is about what he's about, and they're gonna come to blows at some point, and I wonder what that's gonna look like. Is it gonna wind up looking like Tyler Durden and what's his face from Fight Club? Who knows?
Who knows? Maybe she'll. Well, she can't control his body, but maybe she can control something else. And you never know. You know what I mean? That sounds like fun though.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we go over some of these tiers right here if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
We got the arrow. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Well, by the way, I just wanted to say, like, I cannot wait to be able to show off as soon as I have the colors. I can't wait to show the final cover from Lopresti.
Oh, dude, he's like one of my top favorite artists right now. Yeah, definitely, dude.
This is like, what am I even doing here? Like, this is
like, there's a lot of artists too that are like kind of in our sphere that I like, and I like, damn, dude, like because a lot of the artists in our sphere are like putting out the best product right now, you know what I mean? And it's inspiring to me, and they're putting out product right now, and I'm just like looking at their stuff. I'm like, damn, dude, that's badass. You know what I mean? Like Aaron Lopresti, Preston Acevedo, yeah, dude, they're just really like just nailing it. I'm looking at that. It's inspiring me to try to be a better artist, just so I can kind of, I don't know, man. It's just something to aim for.
Chris, was it Chris Graves? He's doing
he's
killing it too.
I just recently found out about him. His book looks sick.
Wrath and Pain, or Riot, what is it?
Shelley Robertson.
Writhe and Pain.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Sim Poitier. Like there's so many. I mean, I can keep naming everybody for days, Yeah. But you got the Arrow bundle 2 right here.
Yeah.
$40. This is just like a whole collection of the Arrow comics verse, from my understanding, right?
Correct. Yeah. So Arrow, of course, they've been around since the 80s. This is the 4th iteration. So, Arrow, 4.0. Of course, we're dropping that. And I say we because I'm now part of Arrow. And part of what we're doing as creators associated with Arrow is we're offering these tiers in our crowdfunding campaigns to kind of maximize value and to get more of our titles in folks' hands, in addition to the ones that we individually are crowdfunding.
See my boy Soltak in there too.
Yep. Now what it is Mad Ruth, aka Craig White, he's breaking the I think it's 96-page graphic novel down into floppies.
That's smart.
But
that's smart.
From what I understand, this issue number 1 has a cover that's different than that original graphic novel. So
that's what my boys too are doing.
Tiers for those people out there wanting to collect and whatnot.
My boys with the 656, they're doing that with their Cryptidnals book. They're breaking that down into 6 issues, and they're putting it in comic book stores. Some people want floppies, some people like that, some people want both, like me. It's like it's cool. Like there's so many different markets out there, and different people want different things. Different people want everything. I don't know. I like it all.
Well, my goal is whenever I get done with Chrome Dog issue number 3, I do plan on doing a trade paperback with that collects all 3 issues. And when I do that, I plan on kind of doing that with either story arcs, or let's say I'm doing one-offs. So like eventually, the goal with Chrome Dog is to go to 300, issue 300 and beyond. Like I want to make him a mainstay type hero, just like the old Spider-Mans, and that's why he's called Chrome Dog, right? Just like Spider-Man was called, it was coined, the term was coined by writers and the editors at the Daily Planet, right? They called him Daily Planet, Daily Bugle. Jesus. Daily Bugle. The Daily Bugle, they called him the Spider-Man,
Right.
but his name's Peter Parker, right? And so with Chrome Dog, people just call him Chrome Dog. He calls himself Scratch because he doesn't know what else to call himself, but everyone calls him Chrome Dog because he looks like a giant chrome dog.
Yep, totally.
But yeah, so anyway.
You got the $5 one right here.
Yep. Yeah, it's the
digital
work from home digital.
That's
so
awesome.
what I'm doing
very
with
reasonable,
these tiers, I don't know if anyone's picking up on it. Well, yeah, like the digital copy, some people they prefer reading on their tablet or whatnot. And also just to point it out to your viewers here, I've got a discounted one. It's only discounted by like $1 as an add-on of the same digital comic. So if they get the full thing, they can go ahead and get the digital tacked on for $4 to their to the rest of their order.
Nice.
But or their backing or whatnot. But yeah, because I mean I'm sensitive to the fact that people don't want to pay the shipping, especially international customers. But there's others that prefer to read on their tablet, so I want to make that available to anybody and everybody.
No, that's smart, dude. And then you got the traditional standard tier right here, Luke Stone cover, $15 plus shipping.
Yes.
Very
first
nice.
shift, and I'm keeping a theme. I've got work from home, first shift, second shift, midnight shift, swing shift. Because again, that's Chrome
brilliant.
Dog, he's this workaholic. Which, by the way, since we're looking at this cover that's here on the screen on the left hand side here, if you look behind the logo, you can see there's the two moons.
The two moons, right?
The blue moon, and then the yellow moon. So the blue moon is Lux, and then the yellow moon is Proximo. Those are the names of the moons of Ringgold. And so I wanted to establish that with this cover for sure.
So cool.
And
I want to get into a little bit of that later. There's some stuff I got to ask you about that later today. Then you got the second shift, Aaron Lopresti cover right here, and this one's different. It looks like he did an original layout or roughs, and he came back in and hit some inks hard, right? Exactly.
So what I did was because he threw me the original layout, because he's working as fast as he's able.
Yeah, he's a machine, dude.
But he can't help that my deadline was February 3rd, and I kind of hit him last minute and this and that.
Right.
So I just went ahead and ran with it and had Luke help me with graphics to be able to kind of show, hey, this is like an initial what the cover is going to somewhat be like. And once we actually get the full colored cover, we'll go back and we'll change those graphics to kind of reflect that, as well as what we see here. But
it looks like he had some fun with this. I can tell. Like those are some badass character designs. Like, I'm not gonna say I'm an artist, but I'm an artist, dude. Like I would love to draw that. You know what I mean? Fucking those characters look. I mean, it looks like Scorpion from fucking Spider-Man and Abomination put together, and then Chrome Dog. Like, it looks like Colossus and like a badass werewolf. A little bit. I'm just saying, like, I would love to draw that
for sure. Just wait till you see it in color.
Ooh, I can't wait, brother.
Because Seether is he's something else.
That's his name, Seether, right there. The guy he's facing off against.
Yep.
I love the pose too,
Seether.
And it's hard, dude. Like, I mean, I don't know. It's just hard to like pull off a good. This is an awesome like cover, dude. It's hard to sometimes pull off against the two guys facing off, where you're having like enough of them in there, whether you're showing enough, and I don't know. You want to see enough of the way the characters look, but make them look badass too. And I don't know. He pulled it off really good.
Well, they're fighting. They're fighting in the rain on the deck of a ferry right here. So they're kind of on a boat, in a way. And so it's spoiler alert, folks, but this is the last couple pages of the book. So I wanted to bring this in and say, hey, we're gonna do this as the variant cover.
Awesome.
I don't believe in doing like so many variant covers. I'm also very like, I like simple things. And yeah, like later on, maybe, maybe next, maybe issue number 2, I'll offer something like a Wally the Wolf plushie, kind of like what Chrome Dog is selling in the amusement park. But for this campaign, I want to keep it very, very lean, very simple, and just let's get more books in people's hands. That's what I care about. It's getting books out there. Go ahead.
And then you got the part-time black and white line art variant edition.
Yes, that was important because Luke's line art is just, oh my gosh, like he does cross hatching and just the level of detail that he puts into it. That's, even though he's a digital artist, he still draws like it's traditional.
Right.
So
no, yeah, it's awesome, dude.
You get to see every line, every squiggle, everything. Yeah.
Then you got the Arrow Bundle 1 for the number 1 issues, right?
Yep, correct. So those are all number 1 issues first, and second, they're all from. A lot of folks might notice that this bundle was available in the Rift Riders campaign for Luke and Piper. So Luke, Piper, and Dillard draws. That's their book, Rift Riders, and so
Rift Riders. Dillard's awesome, man. He can do a lot of different styles. He's a beast too.
Oh yeah. And
I love the buckler.
And so Randy at Arrow, like this is kind of our thing. So this was the original bundle, and so I was told to kind of like add it to my campaign as an option. That's partially, one of the reasons I've actually got fulfillment set for is because there's so many variables, because we've got Rift Riders is still up in the air, it hasn't fulfilled yet, right? And then Soltac has the standard version of Soltac hasn't fulfilled yet. So so some of the things are still up in the air. The Fool on that first, or on the Arrow Bundle 2, that's a new comic that's coming up that Randy's going to go to print with. So yeah, we've got
so cool,
multiple things that are multiple irons in the fire, so to speak. So
it'd be so cool to just like come into this space right now, like independent comics, Comicsgate, whatever the fuck, come in and just like back something like that, and just have like all these different books you could just read, and there's just these different worlds, and these are floppies, so you can just hit it and quit it, and boom, move on to the next one. It looks like there's a lot to offer from there too, genre wise. I see like there's like that horror book in there too with the father on the front. I remember that one launching too.
Sin Killer's so good. Yeah, it's good.
Only Death Could Save Us is in there too.
And that's the issue number 1. Not sure whether Russ is gonna expand and be able to do like issue number 2 or whatnot, but that's
got the one up there. I read that one too. Randy. It's really good.
Yeah, it's good. It's a solid book. 100%.
I love his style.
I loved it.
Very Kirby.
Me too. Yes.
Midnight Shift pack. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So Midnight Shift is the Lepresti cover with the metal print of the same cover.
Oh, that's awesome.
Kind of do that in like a two pack there. Yeah.
Nice and shiny.
Cool. I mean, yeah, gotta have something shiny, man. Chrome Dog. That's the other thing. I wanted to have a metal print because I saw the trouble that Ethan was having with Chrome Dog and getting a chromium cover. I was like, I don't want to do that to my people. I don't want people waiting forever. I'm just gonna send them a book, this or that. So this is a way to have something metal that's actually that's gonna shine the way I want it to for them. So,
gotta have the chrome. I was thinking of what the name for chrome for a band. Yep. That's a solid name for a book I'm working on right now. Because this chrome is a good metal, and I was going through the metal periodic table. Yeah. All-nighter bundle, nighter.
Yeah,
that's everything.
Yeah, so the all-nighter bundles, all three books. So you've got the Lepresti variant, the Luke Stone cover, and then also the line art version, and then both of the metal prints. I figure I'll just throw them all together in one bundle, so folks can kind of save a little bit here and there, and just be able to just click and go on. So, it looks like that one's pretty popular. So,
hell yeah, you've already sold 7, dude. That's yeah. You can't go wrong with that. Well, folks,
You know?
you guys, this we've been talking right here. Like, I'm very interested, intrigued, and I can't wait to see what is in store for Chrome Dog. If you can't come back this book, it's almost funded. Obviously,
Yes.
that should tell you something right there. He just barely launched the book, so people are already like jumping on it right here. Chrome Dog is Luke Cage meets with Altered Carbon with a hint of Ninja Turtles and Blade Runner. I mean, what more can you ask? So come in and back this book. Obviously, 42 people couldn't have been wrong. So get in here and check it out. I was wondering, man, I'm going to step away just for a moment. Sure. But I was wondering, maybe you could talk about a little bit some of the influences of Chrome Dog, other than like, a little bit of like, obviously it states right there, Luke Cage and TMNT and whatnot. And I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, so the influences for Chrome Dog, oh boy. So really, it just comes down to I would watch the Daredevil TV show, and I was very inspired by not only Daredevil but also Luke Cage, that TV show, and how grounded those street level heroes were. And I've always been a big fan of Philip K. Dick. And the whole concept that kind of surrounds Blade Runner. And so you've got this character that's the man versus technology, and technology versus man, and how we interact with those concepts in a sense. And so when I set out to kind of create my own superhero story, I wanted to kind of dial down the technology. That's the other thing. Like I'm actually sick to death of seeing of having a cell phone all the time. I miss the days when we didn't have cell phones, when we would have to be home for someone to call us, or we had to be home to be able to listen to an answering machine, and all that landline technology, all those kinds of things. I kind of miss that era. So I wanted to kind of incorporate that into the world that I'm creating. And in order for Chrome Dog to have a sense of being a superhero in that world, the technology would have to be lowered. And so not only did I do that for the idea of creating my own world, to kind of for him to play around in, but also just to kind of to get to where I'm trying to get back on the track there. Essentially, the idea is to have a character who is a fish out of water, and
Nice.
is forced to like know himself, at least get to a place where he can figure out who he is, as well as also who he can save and who he can't, or who's worth saving and who's not. I kind of want to explore the elements of that as well, but yeah, definitely, man and technology and how those things kind of like mess with each other. So whether you're dealing with genetic experimentation, or you're dealing with some type of bionic enhancements, or maybe old tech that's been lost but was actually like even more advanced than what we have now. Those
like
kinds
the vibration
of
stuff
are definitely going to be
from Joe Rogan.
What's that?
Well, like how like there's
which?
hidden text. Like right now, most of our stuff's based off of like motors and stuff like that. And there's saying that there's tech out there back in the day, like when they're moving the pyramids, that maybe they're moving things around with like vibrations, like vibrating, like that.
Yep.
That type of the sonics, So that's cool, man. Like you've thought
Exactly.
this world out, dude. That's so badass, and like most people haven't done that with their books, and it's really cool that you put that time and effort into it. Like people know that you're very serious about this world.
Yeah, like I'm really serious. And as a matter of fact, there is we're working towards starting I'm actually working with several other creators, and we're going to be producing an anthology under Arrow Comics called Out of Obscurity, and I actually have we've been working together where we pulled out different public domain characters, and I believe one of the creators
Nice.
is doing a Solomon Kane story himself. I think so. Amnesia thriller, yeah,
Really?
for sure. Like it, I mean, it really what? Oh, what he said, yeah. But what? Yeah, with Solomon Kane, yeah, one of the creators, if I'm not mistaken, unless something's changed, he's changed his mind. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, when I saw that Warpath was killed, like I had no idea that Marvel had killed off Warpath in some Krakoa
Oh shit.
shenanigans or whatever in the comics, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, wait a minute. We live in a world full of this concept of representation, and I'm now learning about my own ancestry and that I may actually have Native American, or I'm sorry, American Indian blood in me.
Me too.
And what? Oh, well, back before. Oh, well,
My boy
thank you,
Blue.
Zero.
You're probably gone.
us zeros, man. Like, so you call it, well, yeah, but you call him Blue, I call him Zero. Like, us zeros have to stick together. So whether it's Blue, Samurai Zero,
Oh, yeah,
or
yeah.
Statistical Zero, we're all a bunch of zeros. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Club Zero.
Club Zero.
For life.
Club Blue Zero.
Club Zero. I'm empty. So, or but yeah, man, where was it? Oh yeah. So having seen that, like the American Indian, like it's like, well, where's the representation there, right?
Exactly.
And I looked at the list and I thought, okay, so here's a public domain character who is an American Indian by the name of the Bronze Terror.
Okay.
He was from the 40s, and he only pops up like once or twice in history. The most recent, I think, was in the Chapter House. Did a book in 2017-ish, maybe, for Free Comic Book Day, and they did a really good job with him, I think. And so he, so what I did was I decided to pull him in. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to take him and I'm actually going to redesign him and set him in my world. So the original character's alter ego, his name, he's a he's a law student whose father gets kidnapped or or whatnot, or I'm sorry, his father gets wrongfully accused of murder or something, and so he has to like mess with that stuff. But he fights crime, but he has no powers. He's just a straight up like Indian guy on the back of a horse, and he's got this skull mask, and he's got this makeup that's on his arms and stuff that look like skulls or like bones and whatnot in him. And his horse has like a bone mask.
Oh, that's
and
dope.
And he wears a big headdress and all that. But
Talking
my character.
my language.
Yeah, my character, I'm actually calling him. I've named him Thunder Horse, the Bronze Terror.
Yeah.
And he is the same guy. Jeff Dixon is his name. That was the original guy's name, and I'm going to bring him into my world. Jeff Dixon, Dixon, and he's going to be a lawyer and all of that part. But this guy, because it makes more sense for him. The original character was full-blooded Apache, according to what I understand. But the Apache were not known for horse wrangling as much as the Comanche, for example. And so the Comanche, like they were the horse masters. And so what I've decided to do is take the Comanche. So basically, he has a fatherly line that comes down from the Comanches, but his mother's side is Apache. Now, that's interesting because they're actually set in Ringgold. So they were some of the people groups that decided to move and leave this present darkness that we live in today, you and me, Mr. Burke. and they decided to, they were among some tribes that decided to leave with Charles Ringgold and cross that Stargate and start over. And so they've been living out in Sector Alpha, kind of doing their own thing. And so, and eventually, you get to the events around the same time as Chrome Dog. So he's contemporaneous with Chrome Dog. And so I wrote this 6-page story that's coming up in this Out of Obscurity that follows Thunder Horse. and his moment of trying to put down some bad guys that are trying to take him out because they know who he is, or they know he's a lawyer that's up to no good or this or that, and so he shows them a thing or two when he transforms into Thunder Horse and beats the living pulp out of them.
That sounds like fun, man.
It's a raucous, action-packed kind of thing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to be able to bring that, but we got to wait for Fund My Comic. So
well, it'll happen. It's gonna happen. You got that fire.
Yeah,
you got everything to back it up too. I can just tell by knowing you, all these things are gonna come into fruition. I'm pretty good at that. Like I can usually tell when people are gonna fucking get their shit going, and I know you're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be awesome. I gotta ask you too, man. When you were coming up with the idea of Chrome Dog, like the whole design of him, I'm not saying you have to tell me what he is, but what other like influences you as far as like werewolves go? Like what came into mind or came into play when you were thinking about that? Because a lot of us again are making werewolf books and CG adjacent. We all fucking love werewolves. Everybody loves werewolves, and myself included. I'm a werewolf stan. So what were some of your influences, and what did you do to try to make something original? Because he is original, I know, but I want to hear kind of from Justin's mouth.
So I would be lying if I didn't say that I was a massive Werewolf the Apocalypse fan from White Wolf Games back in the 90s, and then into the 2000s. And I love what that role playing game system did to take when you have the Glasswalkers, which is this tribe that's all about the city life and this and that, but they love technology and they would do things with technology that the rest of the werewolves, especially like the Red Talons, would hate them for it. Of course, I know that's a deep cut for a lot of you folks who probably never heard of that stuff.
Never heard about it, but it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, no, it is. But basically the whole premise of the game is it's nature versus technology. Like it's this and the corruption thereof, right? And so
like Conan,
think what's that?
Like Conan, the noble savage. He hates technology.
Okay.
Can't stand it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, and it has to do with it's another side quest we could go down with Robert E. Howard.
I gotcha. So but as far as but that's the thing, like being when it comes to werewolf and the interplay of that stuff. But at the same time with Chrome Dog, for whatever reason, I thought when I was conceptualizing him as a character, he doesn't transform, right? So it's not like he's going to be, he doesn't have a man wolf form or a machine wolf or a machine form, and then he goes into this machine wolf form or any of that. So he doesn't. He
simply is.
So this he just is, exactly. But it's just this body. Somebody at some point in the distant past, I guess, or I would say, manufactured this body for a purpose, right? And he's the beneficiary of that, as a wandering, listless person. I mean, I don't know how else to say it. And so, but the real, like, I guess if I were to say like the real impetus, I guess, or the kind of like influence is concepts that come out of the movie Avatar.
Okay.
Or like the Matrix, or Philip K. Dick's some
Total
of his
Recall.
stuff. Like when things having to do with the mind, like even Firefly. Like I could even point to Firefly as an influence, because you look at what happens with River Tam, and people messing with her mind and things like that. Like anytime there's like it's like what goes on upstairs, like, and what makes a human, like what makes a soul, like who are you, what are you? And so having those things going on, and then maybe just a little of Five Nights at Freddy's, who knows, because my son was like he was very much into Five Nights at Freddy's when he was a little boy. And so I've been watching him kind of grow up with that, and there's, I'm not gonna lie, I've been inspired by some of what I've kind of seen in that. I'm thinking, so maybe there's a little bit of that in there, but I just but I definitely wanted to have a character who was not quite a superhero, as in like Superman who can do no wrong, but just have someone who does wrong, but for the right reasons.
Right.
Or you know what I mean?
And he's got a code he's developing.
Exactly. And
trying to understand.
Exactly. He has a code, and 100%.
Remnants of code that he's trying to piece together, right?
Exactly. But there's this just instinct in him to do this, to act in certain ways. It's just part of who he is and what his character is. And it doesn't matter the influences around him. He's not going to waver. He's not going to deviate from that. So
I think the design of the character, like I don't know if you designed the character or if you and Luke designed it, but I think it's fucking original, dude. And it's hard to come up with the what should I say, like werewolf or canine, just that style of werewolf or bipedal canine in this space. You know what I mean? And it's not going to end. It's never going to stop. Thank God. I love it. And I don't want it to stop, but it's hard to come up with new takes on it. And you guys did it. I think he looks fucking badass. And you guys have made him extremely interesting. And I want to find out more about him.
Sure.
Yeah. Kudos to you guys, man. I do got to ask you another thing too. What's your favorite beer?
Well, I mean, I'm drinking it.
Blue Moon. Oh wait, Blue Moon. Maybe a little.
Yeah. Maybe that's what Lux. Maybe that's what Lux is part of. Named after.
Yeah, dude.
Being that it's a blue color. Yeah.
I like
anyway.
I like Vitus by Weinstefaner. It's like a dark Hefeweizen like that, like a dark wheat beer. And okay. Now, Weinstefaner is the oldest brewery in the world, so you might like it. It's pretty bomb. It's like a 7%. So good. They got
yeah. I love a good Hefeweizen. I will say, so Blue Moon. The reason I say that's my favorite is because it's the easiest to find. Okay.
Yeah, it's good too.
But I like the Paulaner Hefeweizen when I can get it.
Yeah, they're good.
There's this one restaurant that my wife and I go to every anniversary here locally, and they'll have it on tap every now and then, and it's oh my gosh, like chef's kiss. Hefeweizen, like that is my thing. I do not like hops. Hoppy beers. I don't like pale ales. No.
None of that jazz.
No,
the Weizens are way better, dude. Yeah,
yes. Give me a white beer, a wheat beer, anything Weiss, Hefeweizen, Weiss beer, any of that, like
all in,
100%, all the time, all in, 100%.
And another question I got to ask you, man, what's your favorite metal band?
System of a Down.
Oh, dude, no, hey, that's cool. You brought them up. Like they broke a lot of new ground with that band, a lot of different stuff,
Man,
one of the last fucking heavy sounding bands. I don't mean heavy metal because I consider heavy metal like its own genre, but I mean it's like the really they're heavier than heavy metal, and like they're like the last band on the radio that fucking actually played heavy metal. Too. They're the first big Armenian folk metal band. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like it's pretty cool. But
they were so heavy when it came to not only the musical, what he loves him some wheat beer. Yeah. Oh yeah, Brian. Yeah.
My boy right there.
Bier ist sehr gut. Ja, das stimmt. Das ist richtig. Yeah, I can speak some German, like ein bisschen.
I want to go there, man. I got a little German in me, but not too much.
Yeah. I'm actually Swedish, so how about that?
Oh, damn. I'm a little Norwegian. I don't think I have any Swede in me, but same shit.
Yeah, I'm definitely Swedish. But yeah, no. The thing is, there was one of the biggest rock. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's one of the coolest rock stations in the country won't even play anything beyond aerials or chop suey. Like that's it. Like they wouldn't play any of their other stuff, and I'm just like, because
Amon Amarth's aerials. Sorry, I had to say that.
What's that?
They're one of my favorite bands, Amon Amarth. I mean, they're trendy fucking Viking death metal, but I don't give a fuck. They do a cover of System of a Down's Aerials. It's fucking dope.
Okay.
YouTube it after the show if you can.
But so let me just say, okay, so I came out with that, but then Backwards is pretty darn cool. Like I like them, but they're more of, you can call them rapcore if you want.
I haven't listened to that much of his catalog, dude. I didn't know. I thought he
No,
just rapped.
man.
I didn't know he fucking
Veracity. No, you got to find Veracity is the name of the album. 2017. That shit from start to finish. You got to listen to the thing.
I didn't
all
know
the way
that fool
through.
did
It
some
is-
throat.
it
He did
is-
some throat. Like he dropped some shit on
Yes.
Twitter like a day ago, and I was like,
Yes.
oh, that fool does some fucking some throat. I thought he was just fucking spitting flows
Yes.
the whole time, but no,
Yeah,
he
no,
does. So
yeah,
I
no.
give him props for that.
Veracity, yeah, Veracity, yeah, Veracity. Alex is his bandmate. He actually works for him now too, on Rippaverse. But I'm telling you, man, backwards that they're up there too. But man, like metal, dude. Like I go back to Metallica, the Black Album. You know, that
Okay.
was their last great album. I think. You know, if people, you know, yeah, y'all can, you know.
A lot of people cite that
faggots
one,
or
dude.
sellouts,
And it's a
whatever.
solid album. I
You
don't give a
know.
fuck. I like My Friend of Misery.
they eventually, yeah,
It's
exactly.
a dope
Or,
album. That one and Unforgiven.
Wolf and Man. I mean,
Wolf and Men.
Wolf and,
Like those three.
Wolf. Yeah. If that song, I'm going to tell you this, okay? You know, again, another deep cut. If Of Wolf and Man had not been made, there would be no Werewolf the Apocalypse, because they make no mistake when they created that game, that tabletop role playing game, Werewolf the Apocalypse. They said that, you know, lyrically, there's lyrics in that song that directly inspire what the game is and like what it's about.
Damn.
So you guys check it out. You got to find it. There's actually a new version of it, a Werewolf the Apocalypse. So, and I don't work for them, so I'm just saying.
I have to look into
stuff.
that. I have one more question for you. What's your favorite
Yeah.
werewolf movie? I'm gonna start. You know what? You've inspired me. I got some ideas cooking now for some new video stream I want to do for creators. What's your new werewolf movie?
Okay. So,
Favorite.
all right.
Sorry.
So my favorite werewolf movie would have to be Silver Bullet, but and I would, and there's so many others that I would like. As far as like character, like a wolf design, Cursed was really good. I think Wes Craven, like whatever he was doing in that movie, the way that they did the man wolf thing, like I want my werewolf to be like fully wolf, but this big anthropomorphic, you know, Hulk character, rather than like what we get in Underworld, where, you know, they're just these big, menacing, like almost deformed looking, like somewhat humanoid, but look somewhat, you know, werewolfy kind of thing.
Oh, I love it, dude. I love your
started with the Twilight series, like they do. They're like they go full like dire wolf, and it's like, no, man, get into that Krynos form, which is, you know, again, deep cut to Werewolf the Apocalypse, but be in that middle, you know, big, like I'm like 8 feet tall and I'm gonna rip your head off and like crap down your neck or something.
I only seen that movie. I seen that movie so long ago, but then I watched it on because I'm a werewolf stan. I love them all. Like I'm just a big fucking werewolf fan, and like I love to just hear like, wow, Cursed. Like, damn, you got me. Like from that, I didn't expect that shit, dude. But the design of that wolf was pretty dope.
Was a great.
It was different.
It was, and I think I want to say the first Underworld came pretty much hot on its heels, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought, what is this crap? This is like, you know,
like Benicio and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh yeah.
I know I like Underworld, dude.
I read the book. The book is so good. Yeah, Underworld's pretty decent. When you're looking at it from the vampire standpoint. Wiley.
And you got all those thespians in there acting their little asses off, you know. Bill Nye and all the other guys.
Oh yeah, Bill. Oh my gosh, Bill Nye, dude.
There's a bunch of those dudes in there, dude.
So
Stephen Ray.
So you folks out there, you gamers out there, man, like Soul Reaver. If we didn't have Bill Nye, we wouldn't have was it Raziel? Like that's him. That's his voice.
He is
that's Bill
Kane.
Nye.
Well, Bill Nye is Kane. Like that's the closest Kane you're gonna get is him in that chair. Like even like cinematically.
Kane,
you know?
Kane was Kane was somebody else.
Well, I'm just saying, like character wise, like if you were gonna get Kane, like
Oh you mean
similarity wise, that's Bill Nye.
Sure.
If you were gonna get the Legend of Zelda in a movie, the closest thing is Legend with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing you're gonna. That's what I mean comparison wise, just with that specific, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah, that was let's see. So Legend was
Ridley Scott.
Tim Curry. He
Oh
played
yeah,
the
Tim
bad
Curry.
guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was crazy,
But
dude.
yeah, Kane was voiced by Simon Templeton. But yeah, Bill Nighy did Raziel.
Did he?
In Soul Reaver?
I didn't even
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy. That must have been a young
Yeah,
one.
man. Yeah, well, he was somewhat young back then.
He popped up
I mean,
in Robert England's Phantom of the Opera. He was in there too. Like I was like, what's this guy doing
Robert
in here?
Englund
Running
did a
around.
Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah,
That's
that was a
cool.
weird movie, dude. That was like the one that kind of got me as a kid. Like I remember watching the one with Claude Rains a lot as a kid. That was me and my pop's favorite. But when Robert Englund he did like a Freddy Krueger-esque style one, but it was pretty good.
Okay.
It was dope, and it almost had like a New Nightmare theme to it, where it was in the 90s, and he was talking to a lady about a story of something that happened to him, and he was still I don't want to spoil the movie if you do watch it, but I got that one. It's dope.
Well,
it's got some cool visuals
and
and character designs.
I mean, I know Phantom of the Operas, but I'm guessing this is a departure from
it's Freddy Krueger, dude.
Which, I mean,
sort of.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
It's 80s style, but it's dope, dude. It's dope. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think probably we've been going for about an hour now. Probably going to wrap it up. Thanks so much for coming on. Please come on again. I can't wait for Chrome Dog 2. Maybe we can do that again. That'd be dope. Anything else you'd like to say about Chrome Dog, brother?
Nothing beyond. He's, that's my boy, Chrome Dog. He's been really like Scratch has been one, I guess you could say he's been scratching to come out and get, get out here and get in front of people and remind everybody what fun is. Comics, they're not, they're not fun anymore. And
right,
the people in the indie space, we're the ones that actually get it. We get, hey, this is supposed to be fun, so let's have some fun. Take a ride with me. So yeah,
people are gravitating toward this book. I mean, we just got another backer right now. He's at 43 just in the last hour.
Well,
so obviously people are buying this book for a fucking reason. And you've been on here, you've seen him talk about it. I mean, everyone's watching, that are watching. They know now that you're investing in an awesome story and product and cool characters. So, what are you waiting on? Go back the book, back Chrome Dog. You're going to get on the ground floor for something amazing and special, and you're going to be part of the whole experience of the first iteration of it, folks. So, thanks for watching. And Justin, where can everybody find you?
So I practically live on Twitter. So what you see here on the screen at Justin K Sweet is my Twitter handle. Agent Zero. I try to keep the spelling to where people can kind of search it. I'm also on YouTube.
Brilliant.
And I look forward to making more YouTube videos and posting, content, potentially some shorts. I'm wanting to do some funny stuff, create a new trailer or two for Chrome Dog, and maybe even start doing some live streaming. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Have me on. I'll come on your show. You can pick my brain off.
I'm also on Facebook too.
Articles left of it.
Boomerish. Yeah, I'm on Facebook too. So I'm like, I try to be everywhere. Instagram, I got one, but I don't really have that many followers. I don't really know.
You will eventually.
I don't.
Do it up.
The problem with Instagram is that it requires me to use this only.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Let me have my PC, man.
You just got to do it. You just got to snap some
PC user.
What I do is well, yeah, you just got to snap some pictures up, scan it into the computer, post it on Twitter, and then take that image and I don't know, or you could take the full image and snap it up like that. But yeah, it's a cool way. It's a cool way to find art and things like that. But I don't know, it's a cool thing to have, I guess.
I'll do.
But
I'll consider making that a little more robust. But otherwise, I live on Discord, but you'll just have to find me there somewhere. And I'm generally try to hang out in the chats as much as I can in these different streams on YouTube too. So you'll see me around.
Hell yeah, man.
But Twitter is the best place to find me.
Sweet. So you guys know where to find Justin.
Just
hit him up in the DMs if you have any questions or whatnot. And thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys have an awesome, safe weekend. It's Super Bowl. Get out there. Don't get too fucked up. But if you get fucked up, I know I will be. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know you roll. Bye, guys. See you later.